এবার করুণা করো বৈষ্ণব গোসাই এবার করুণা করো বৈষ্ণব গোসাই পতিত পাবন তোমা বিন কেহো না
I'm very, 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 very nervous, but I will be calm and I will no cry today, hopefully.
If you told me you speak about the Gurudev Bhaktivedanta Goswami Maharaj in Hindi, then I can speak full life.
All the good qualities that I have come from him. All the mistakes that I make or all my weaknesses comes from me because this is who I am.
I think he's the only sannyasi that when he sees me, he hugs me. He warms my heart, because he has a great personality, a great Vaishnav. He's hugging an idiot like me.
First had darshan of our Srila Gurudev, not even knowing, not having any clue what kind of personality he really is. But I remembered him walking inside the hall and with this amazing smile on his face and his twinkling eyes. The moment that Gurudev just walked into the exit towards us, he raised one hand up and he was like, Haribol, and this feeling and just this happy moment, I can never forget this. And I felt a little bit like I was in Brazil.
I saw Gurudev for the first time. And I was so excited, this feeling. I think you all know. Premanandi Didi asked, have somebody was questions, and I was yes, I was behind. I have a question, and the first thing was I asked him, can I give you a hug? I want to give you a hug.
He asked me, okay, what's your name? My name is Paul, and he say, Pablo, P, Patmanavadas. Now you're my disciple. What? Yeah, you're my disciple.
And I remember at that time I went to Damodar and I said, does this mean that Gurudev is my Gurudev? And he said, yes.
But Maharaj came to me and he said, what's your name? And when he asked my name, I couldn't remember my own name. I was like, Amanda. And he said, Ananda? And I said, no, Amanda. He said, are you vegetarian? Well, yes, I am. And he said, okay, I'll give you Harinam. And I was like, what is Harinam? Everyone, what is that? Gurudev just gave me everything without asking, I didn't know what was that. I didn't know anything, but he gave me everything. And he engaged me immediately on his service as soon as we met. I felt that he trusted me. So I didn't know anything. I was no one. I was very young and I didn't know, but he believed on me. He just gave me sevas to do and these books and translations. I didn't know how to translate. I used to forget all his words. I didn't know Sanskrit words, and his way of talking was really difficult to me at the beginning. But he just made me feel that I was useful.
I felt so much greatness. I felt so much indebted to him. If you not give me shelter that time, then I don't know what will happen to me. Because in the beginning days, my heart was very restless. For 5 years, my heart was very, very restless. But after these things, Maharaj service, then I became very peaceful.
I grew up in a Muslim family. My journey of seeking came to an end when I met Gurudev, and I could finally swap my old name for a new name. So in November 2014, Gurudev gave me Harinam, and I immediately felt as I lost a lot of unnecessary thoughts, habits, and cravings.
Gurudev said, you want Diksha? And I thought maybe he will. Gurudev said, will you both take Diksha? And I thought maybe he will now go back. So I said quickly, yes, we both. And then we looked at each other. And I was feeling really different. I thought, what happened? I have Diksha now.
Gurudev's Gatha touched me, and it felt really different to what I had heard before. But at that time, I just felt like, all my intellectual faculties were suspended, and I didn't know what to think of everything.
Looking back, I remember it's like, even from my first encounter with him, he was very nice to me. And now, almost 20 years later, he still has a same familiar, like, sweet disposition.
After his lecture, he looked at me, and then I understood. I felt very strongly, my prayers have been answered.
And I just went up the stairs. I looked right, and he was sitting there, and he looked so young, so I cannot describe. I just looked at him, and I don't like being very mystical about things. I like science. I am a Virgo, so I like things, very well explained. But I could not understand what was going on inside of me. I just felt this emotion. It was not rational. It was not logical. I felt this inside my heart. Oh my God, maybe he's the one. He just came to my house in Brasilia and met my parents, my mom, dad, and sister, and everyone just fall in love with him because it's impossible not to. He's so kind and loving and sweet and simple. I remember the first picture I had of Gurudev is still with me nowadays. It's this picture here, this very sweet picture of him.
Anyone who knows Gurudev, if he says something, you just cannot refuse.
He says that he always keeps us in his heart pocket. If we even give him a tiny bit of our capacity to hear Harikatha, he will grab us and put us in his heart pocket and take us with him wherever he goes, even when he is entering into that spiritual dham.
He has so much love for his disciples. He has so much love for everyone. He is not looking whose disciple it is. I've never seen making him this difference. He just sees they are all ours.
Gurudev is so merciful because obviously I was so new and I'm still so new, and he's just given me. He's just, how he says, true love is about giving and it's not about taking, and that's all Gurudev does. He just gives and gives and gives.
We see how much sacrifice Gurudev has done. I mean, he was staying in India, so close to pastime places of Krishna, but to fulfill the order of his Gurudev, he gave up his own pleasure of being there and went to the whole world preaching. So from this we can see how much sacrifice he did and how much love he had.
Gurudev is so merciful. He's such an embodiment of compassion and humility, and through the past few years he has just shown me so much of how to be a person, how to be a man, how to be a father, how to be a devotee. Gurudev has always cleansing my heart, and I, like a young child who takes a bath and their mother arranges their clothes very nicely, and the first thing they do is go out and jump into the mud.
I just felt like, oh, this is exactly what I needed. It was just, my soul was yearning for this. And I just felt like I'd been forgiven for all my sins because Srila Gurudev has accepted me.
I see with my eyes, Gurudeva put in transcendental ecstasy, like 200 persons chanting and dancing like crazy mood of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And for one person who see this in the first time, really, it's a big shock. A big shock, because this is amazing, it's fantastic. And of course, Gurudeva is not so young, but he is out inside, and he jump and then like one teenager.
When I meet with Gurudev, I feel so energized. Nothing can go wrong. Everything will be okay now. And another thing is, when I sit with Gurudev, I start to think about my faults and I feel like cry a lot. Why? Because In front of him, all the good things are spoken. And then when I get out of there, again I fall into Maya.
As I went to some places where Gurudev went in Europe and in India, he gave me the opportunity to do some services. Not because he needed it, but I needed it. By a simple moment, association with the sadhu, one can attain perfection. But it doesn't mean that I have reached this perfection, but I have faith that whatever my Gurudev says, and under his guidance and under the guidance of the sadhus of our Guru Varga, that everything is possible. That doesn't mean that it will be easy, but they will guide us.
Whenever Gurudev is in India, he used to go somewhere, so me, always behind him, always behind him. Anadi, you have to come with, okay, Anadi, come. So me and Sham Prabhu, and always with Gurudev, whenever Gurudev is in India. So he is so merciful that he gave me so much, association of him. He gave me so much chance to serve.
All his actions, he's acting perfectly. So if you really watch what he's doing and what he's speaking and how he's doing, then you can get so much mercy, because he's an ocean of mercy.
He talks so sweetly, but at the same time he can roar like a lion. He looks so calm, and then again he has so much energy. He knows everything, and sometimes he does like he doesn't know. He nourishes like a mother, and he chastises like a father. He is so powerful, but his heart is like butter. He sings the sweetest melodies, and he shouts like thunder. Gurudev, you are so special to all of us. Like you, there's no other.
He has so many disciples, right? Like thousands of disciples, and yet he is able to see each person individually.
I was very surprised that everyone was circling around Srila Gurudev. And I was thinking, oh, I never saw a sannyasi like this, who speaks with everyone so freely.
Our beloved Gurudev, Bad Maharaj, is traveling in this COVID situation also, just to help us, to teach us, to encourage us, to give powerful Harikatha day and night continuously, not bothering for his own health.
I think he's been traveling around the world for the past 25 years, right? That's even more than our Gurudev and more than also Srila Prabhupada.
Sometimes Sripad Bad Maharaj traveled for more than 18 hours by bus. He didn't eat anything. When he started to do his Harikatha, sometimes when arrived in one place, has only 2 persons. And he spoke Harikatha like 4,000 persons.
So I asked Gurudev a question. Gurudev, does a disciple does seva for Gurudev, or is Gurudev doing seva for disciple? And everyone was laughing. What kind of question is this? And Gurudev also laughed and said, actually, the Guru serves the disciple. He gave an example. Look, when the children are small, a mother serves the child. How does she nourish the child? Can the child nourish the mother? Can the child do seva for the mother? No. So a guru is like a mother and father.
We entered the room, and it was a small room with 1 bed for all of us. So we were naturally preparing the room for Srila Gurudev and figuring out outside of the area where we would all stay. So we started preparing everything, and then Srila Gurudev comes in and he says, "No, I'll sleep on the floor outside. You guys take the bed."
He said, no, I don't need this big of I don't need big asan. I'm very small, so I need small chair.
And one thing that actually was remarkable about Pujya Padman Maharaj was this. He waited to serve all the Vaishnavas presently. It was Kartik. And then the end, after everybody was fed, then he took his prasadam.
We were all at the fire ceremony, and he said, okay, it's time for prasada. And somebody said, Gurudev, nobody cooked. And he said, okay, doesn't matter, I will cook. And we were like, no, let us cook. And he was like, you got married, now I have to cook. So he prepared all the prasada at our wedding ceremony. He does not need someone to cook for him and everything. He's so merciful that he let us. And that is so amazing, so amazing.
Gurudev really loves his disciples. He is giving everyone prasadam. And he's asking everyone, did you take prasadam or did you not take? And he's asking me, did you take prasadam well or should I bring more?
Once I saw Gurudev was talking with a mad lady. She was from Vrindavan and she came to Gurudev, and Gurudev was talking him very patiently, and he listens him till 20 to 25 minutes, Prabhuji. I was standing there, she was like blah 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 blah, and Gurudev, yes my child, yes beta.
It was someone's birthday, so we were doing the Swasti Vachan. I was a bit sick, I had fever and I had pain on my chest. So I told Gurudev that I was in this condition, and then Gurudev, please give me also Swasti Vachan, and then Gurudev gave Swasti Vachan, and after that my fever went away, and also the pain on my chest spontaneously was relieved. I was all healthy again. If I'm in a trouble, then I sit in front of a photo of Krishna. Oh Lord, please show me a way. When I'm very worried, then I start to cry. And at that time, then Anadi Prabhu sometimes phones, sometimes Sham Prabhu phones me, and they say, Didi, Gurudev wants to speak with you. And then I feel like I was praying to the Lord and Gurudev is calling me. Is Guru Krishna or is Krishna Guru?
One devotee asked our Gurudev, what is the best gift we can give you for your birthday? And without hesitation, immediately, without any delay, Gurudev smiled and said, spread Harikatha all over the world.
He has no attachment to this material world. He was totally absorbed in his scriptures and following those instructions. He was never criticizing anyone. He was just in his own bhav.
He was very eager to speak Harikatha. Maharaj used to say that if you don't give me prasadam is okay, but if you stop to give me Harikatha, then my mind becomes mad.
One time he was speaking about Radha Rasya and he was giving so many shlokas. He would say, this is important, this is very important, this is very, very important. I still have the book with his notes.
It was a very, very small place. You cannot believe. I don't think 30 people could fit, but when Maharaj was there, like 1,000 people were in the place because he attracts everyone.
Gurudev said that when you listen Harikatha, you should keep the jewels in your pocket, but don't keep everything inside, distribute. Because when your pockets are full, you cannot put new jewels inside anymore.
Gopakumar, he started to cry and search all kunjas on the bank of Yamuna and crying where is my guru, where is my guru? And Gurudeva started to speak in such a manner, all audience, everybody was crying and bitterly. And Gurudeva could not speak even. He where is my guru, where is my guru? And his voice choked. And Katha stopped, Gurudeva, he was crying like a child, nobody, and all devotees there also crying.
Gurudev asked after Harikatha, Anadi, did you hear Harikatha? I said, yes, Gurudev. So he said, what did you understand? I was shocked. I was scared that what should I say? Because Gurudev's accent is little bit Bengali, so in the starting days, it was so much problem for me to understand. So I said, Gurudev smiled that, okay, you didn't understand anything. Then yes, Gurudev. So he said, okay, no problem. Gradually you will come to know what I am saying.
One of the qualities which I saw in Gurudev was accuracy. It's very accurate. So when we received initiation in 2018, I made one comic for Gurudev. The title was God is Always Our Well-Wisher. And in that comic, I drew all the people with 4 fingers on one hand because that's a kind of style of drawing, but I did that. So I gave the comic to Gurudev, and Gurudev was looking at each and every drawing, and when he saw the hand, he was saying, "How many fingers do you have?" I was saying, "Gurudev, I have 5 fingers." Then Gurudev said, "Yeah, and you should also draw with 5 fingers." And so from that day on, I never dared to draw people with 4 fingers.
Suddenly, on the very next day of my marriage, Gurudev told, everyone who is asking to do marry or not to marry, that means she wants to marry.
When he was a child, he would climb the trees, mango trees, and he would take the mangoes, not take out the mango, he would like make a small hole and press the mango, and he would suck all the mango juice, yeah, and leave the mango there. He's like this, you know, he's just Bhakti Chakora. He only gets the juice, the mango and the seed, it's out, like he leaves it, but he only gets the Bhakti, yeah, from everything. We were in the beach, and one devotee asked him, what are the manjaris like? He was saying they are a little bit like more like this, and they are more, but it's different from this color. They are more bright. He was not speaking about the scriptures. At that time, he was speaking about his direct realization. The color, they are more bright. The height, their height is like this, and he was describing, you know, very naturally, and then he just left.
When he is laughing about something, you know that he's laughing in the spiritual world with Nitya Parika, but still you can't help but laugh with him, even though you have no idea actually what is the depth of that meaning of that laughter that he's expressing, you know? And just it gives you so much hope that even though we are still covered and conditioned by our own anartas and our own reluctance to receive this mercy, there is a personality like Maharaji who just will never give up on us.
Gurudev said we can't pay even a mother, even we take many births. We are always debtful to one mother. And Gurudev says Gurudev is like million of mothers. He has so much mamta for his disciple.
He is so simple. It's like I cannot speak with my family members as well as I can speak with him. I can just totally open up.
I can never glorify him because I'm a very tiny part of this universe, and Gurudev glorification is beyond all universes.
He told me this is the most important mantra you should remember every day. So I printed, and it says, Dhyana Mulam Guru Murti, Puja Mulam Guru Padam, Mantra Mulam Guru Vakyam, Moksha Mulam Guru Kripa.
Gurudev would speak about Sripad Bhaktivinoda Maharaj like this. He's a pure devotee. So he's above all this situation of material contamination. He's like the perfect example of Guru Nishtha.
I entered in YouTube and I saw one Harikatha and I saw Sripad Bon Maharaj, and I saw this Harikatha. I think was a Harikatha that he gave in Europe. And I saw that video and I said, who is this Sannyasi? Who is him? I felt like something very special in my heart, and I said, he's giving the same Harikatha that Srila Narayan Goswami Maharaj is giving.
He gave everything to Srila Gurudeva. He has many and thousands and maybe millions of persons who give his heart to him, to give his heart in the lotus feet. And then he gives everybody as in the lotus feet of my beloved Guru Deva Bhaktivinoda Narayan Goswami Maharaj.
Bon Maharaj was inside the room, I not see. But he came to me and asked Madidi, have you darshan Gurudev? I mean, no, Maharaj, they are not allowed to me enter Gurudev room. That time he pulled my hand and take my in the Gurudev room.
So he's always engaged into service for his Guru. He's never taking credits for his own. He's always glorifying his Gurudev.
he's so weak, so skinny body, and he is not habitual my brother weather. Here, he winter time too much cold here, and summertime extremely hot here. He can't tolerate this hot. How many times he sick, but he never left my Gurudev's lotus feet. Never returned his Navadvip or anywhere. Never.
कृताता होइबे नाता कबे हेनो कृपा लबियाए जाना कृताता होइबे नाता शक्ति बोधिहीना आमियाति.
When there's a lot of mercy from the Lord, when He cannot bear to see the jiva suffering, when He sees the jiva suffering, He gets tears from His eyes. And when those tears come, they are the mercy Shakti, Kripa Shakti. And that is what takes form as Guru.
যোগ্যতা বিচারে কিছু নাহি পা তোমারা করুণা সারা যোগ্যতা বিচারে কিছু নাহি
Om Vishnu Padaya Gaur Prasthaya Bhutale Shri Srimad Bhakti Vedanta Vaniti Namine.
नमो विष्णुपादाय गौरप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्री श्रीमद् भक्ति वेदांत वन इति नामिने.
नमो विष्णुपादाय गौरप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्री श्रीमद् भक्ति वेदांत वन गोस्वामी इति नामिने.
नमो विष्णुपदाय गौरप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त गोस्वामी इति नामिने.
गुरुदेव कृपा बिंदु दिया गुरु दासे अपेक्षायाति गुरुदेव कृपा बिंदु दिया गुरु दासे अपेक्षायाति. जय गुरुदेवा जय गुरुदेवा गुरुदेवा जय गुरुदेवा जय गुरुदेवा जय गुरुदेवा गुरुदेवा जय गुरुदेवा जय जय